Welcome to the Gifford Youth Orchestra's concert series, Day 17. And thank you for having us in your home. Thank you for joining us as I share a little bit of the Gifford Youth Orchestra history. Astrologically speaking, the Aquarian age that we're supposed to be in right now is an age of the future. It's an age of visionaries. It's the age where something from the future comes back to help us get there. It's not stuck in what didn't work. It's not stuck in yesterday and what went wrong, but it's looking to the brightness and the magnificence of the future. And sometimes it's too bright for people of yesterday to grasp, but it's never too bright for the children of tomorrow. And the Gifford Youth Orchestra is all about the children having a better tomorrow. There is a teaching that I learned from reading The Labors of Hercules, the one by Alice Bailey, where she talks about the astrological experiences of Hercules, the tasks he had to accomplish before he could become a world hero. And one of those tasks is about the Aquarian age. It's the Aquarian age task, in fact, where the king asked him to do something for his village, for the king's village. And Hercules does it. But the people didn't ask for it. They didn't like it. They didn't want it. They rejected it because the light was too bright. When I came to Gifford, I didn't come to make any changes. I came to be retired and write my books. I knew better than to come as an Aquarian age aspirant wanting to make changes in a community that was already magnificent. I just wanted to write my books. And since I have lived here in Indian River County, in Vero Beach, and Gifford, I have never initiated a single thing unless a resident asks me to do so. As much as possible, I steer clear of King's and Aquarian age projects without the support of the community. So when people in Gifford asked me to do things, I said, okay. And you already heard the story about Annie Powell. And you know, Annie Powell is the one that said, what are you going to do about our children being left behind? And that's how the Gifford Youth Orchestra got started. It was her fault. All of this is her fault. The newspaper that I published, that's Freddie Wolfborg's fault. The tennis classes that I initiated, that's Larry Staley's fault. Everything I've ever done here, someone in Gifford or Indian River County asked me to do it. And that was still the case this particular summer when Larry Staley, the coach of the Special K exercise class, the senior citizens exercise class in Gifford, when he asked me, when he said, not asked me, but he said, you know what you ought to do? Well, I didn't see it coming. I thought he was going to suggest a particular exercise for me since I was a senior citizen. I'd forgotten the long arm of Larry Staley and how it reaches into the community, into generation after generation that he has coached or trained during the years that he has been a football coach, a baseball coach, even a swimming coach. Yeah, swimming. Yes, there are some Black people that do swim, and Larry Staley is one of them. He is the first African American in Indian River County to be licensed as a lifeguard. And he has trained many, many lifeguards, Black and white and brown and yellow and whomever, whatever age they are that come to him. Equal opportunity teacher he is. And as a teacher of the K-12 class, the exercise class, he comes to me with this, you know what you ought to do message. And I said, okay, what? He said, you ought to start a senior citizens violin class. I said, okay, we can do that. Now, we didn't have violins for our seniors. We didn't have a place to hold a class. We didn't have a teacher. So I said to Larry, you know, we are in this together. So you are going to have to carry your part of this idea that you have. I had learned my lesson from Annie Powell. So when the word went out that we were doing this, Tom Frisk with the Sunrise Rotary said, okay, we'll help you get violins for those seniors who don't rent them and don't purchase them. And so they provided, I think, about 10, about 10 violins to this program. And we signed up about 20 students, I think, 15, 20. I have a picture of them, those who signed up. But we didn't have teachers. But it was summer. And this is why it's a part of the Gifford Youth Orchestra history. Because I asked children who would be willing to give up their summer holiday once a week to come and teach senior citizens how to play the violin. We had enough children for every senior to have their own individual teacher. And I'm telling you, it was a beautiful experience to watch. The children teaching what they had learned. These were not beginners, these were intermediate and advanced students. They knew how to play that instrument. They were not afraid. And they confidently and with great poise and great respect sat with their senior. And that senior enjoyed that attention, that private time, the learning, the patience. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience listening to me, I just feel like I don't want to say there's nothing more beautiful. There are many things as beautiful. And this is particularly beautiful. The idea of these children teaching these seniors how to play the violin. It was wonderful until summer was over. The children had to go shopping for school clothes. They wanted to get in a last minute swim. They didn't want to use up all their time in class. And so we had to find a teacher. Put a pin in that for a minute. Because a few years earlier, actually it was just 2 years earlier, one of the young ladies who had been in our program, Deborah Pelt, graduated from high school. And during the time that scholarships were being presented to all of the children in Indian River County at the scholarship awards ceremony, her name was called more than anyone's name, and she had two arms full of scholarships. And off she went to fulfill her dream to attend Howard University. But those scholarships did not cover room and board. And the community was not able to help raise enough money to keep her at Howard. So she came home heartbroken and disappointed. Mrs. Haar, our music director, Joan Haar, and I talked about Deborah's pain as if it was our own. And we wondered if the healing power of music might give her some relief from her heartbreak and disappointment. So we spoke to her about teaching the senior citizens class, and she accepted it. Here she is now teaching those seniors who had already fallen in love with the Gifford Youth Orchestra. And Deborah is tuning their violins and teaching them, giving them almost, not almost, but a little bit of one-to-one attention. The class was growing. Now it's a 2-hour class. The students are learning, but they're learning at their own pace in one room. And Deborah also wants to go to school back at Indian River College. And the pieces fell apart. Sad day. It didn't happen all at one time. It was a little here and a little there until finally she had to go back to school for her own good reasons. So we employed her sister, Deborah Pelt, who had by then graduated. And she stayed with the seniors, now called Silver Strings. But then her schedule at college changed, and that program came to an end. But it happened, and it is a part of the Gifford Youth Orchestra history. And those seniors and those children will forever have that experience in their hearts, in their treasure chest of memories. So that when Larry came to me a few months ago and said, you know what you ought to do? And I said, we ought to do what? And he said, you ought to, but I'm not going to say it this time out loud. This time I'm going to wait until we have enough committed teachers that we can have one-on-one as we did before. So when the call goes out, and you'll read about it on Facebook or in the newspaper, when that call goes out, maybe you will join us in being part of the next experiment with the Gifford Youth Orchestra. Another Aquarian age adventure about to happen. Brightness from and for tomorrow. But now, for today, enjoy the feast of music we have prepared for you.
Welcome to today's video concert performances. My name is Jane Burton, and I am a member of the Gifford Youth Orchestra's Board of Directors. I am honored to support the GYO because contributing to this unique organization is not only important, but extremely fulfilling and rewarding. I am honored to introduce the next performing artist, who is Antoinette Williams, who is in the 5th grade at Vero Elementary and is 11 years old. She will perform for you Etude by Shizuki on the violin. Her future ambition is to be either an actress or an OB gynecologist. Now, please join me in enjoying Antoinette's performance on the violin.